All right, everybody. Welcome back. 100 proof Whitetails back down at the bar. Nate got to swing in. This is like 2 shows in a row.
I missed last week because of Valentine's Day.
No, you're right. My bad. Well, it feels like 2 shows because we did the sip and stroll last.
I was at the
weekend.
Sip and Stroll.
Yeah.
Which was great. It was great. We got a lot of people come through. We got a lot of people that are interested and tuning into the podcast and checking it out.
Yep. A lot of new people that didn't know about us or whatever, or maybe remembered us from pouring last year.
Yeah, a couple people remembered us. We remembered them.
Mm-hmm.
This one couple, they bought some sweatshirts from us last year.
Penelope and her husband, yeah. They got entered in the drawing.
Yep, good people.
Yep, we're going to be drawing that at the end of the show, too.
Yeah, we got some good exposure there.
Yeah.
What did we have? I think we said 120, 125 people came through.
I think they said 126 came through the front door. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention if anybody came in the back door or not with it, but no, it was definitely a good opportunity, good thing. Thanks for the town of Phelps for having us again for the Sip and Stroll, and hopefully it's still going strong next year.
Yeah.
I think everybody's feedback, dude, was real happy with it.
Do you want to go through some of the reviews and thank the people for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to
reviewing,
give everybody a
shout
out on the thank yous for the folks that took the time to drop in a response. We had a little Google QR code that you could scan in, take a quick little survey on how the tasting went, talk about the show, stuff like that. So we want to thank Alan, Nathan, Amelia, Robert, Kyle, Tammy with an I, Tammy with a Y, Lauren, Anna, Penelope, Terry, and John for their surveys that they filled out for us. And we have all you guys' contact information to be able to get a hold of you folks if we need to for prize giveaway. So we'll be drawing one of those lucky folks tonight on the show.
Yep.
For the giveaway, and we'll tease a couple things tonight.
We got some good things in the works.
Yeah, so
some exciting things.
Yeah, couple takeaways from the survey. People are interested in the winter knit hats, the baseball hats, beanies, and then one person said they're interested in the special blend. So we had a bonus pour also for the Sip and Stroll.
Yep.
So, and then a couple people were interested in the bottle lights too. So. Get a hold of those folks interested in that. And then a majority, 66% of folks were first-time listeners. So hadn't heard of us, for the show. So some of us had heard from Facebook, YouTube, and then the podcast. So you could check multiple, for where you watch it from. So, and everybody said, awesome, great. It was great, very nice, yum, yes, exclamation point, the best of the day, and it was the best. So
appreciate all the positive feedback.
Yep. Yeah. Would have been cool to have one negative thing, but I don't know, dude. I don't think we could have done much better with it. I think we did a bang up job with everything we had going on.
Yeah.
For sure. So Penelope comments right in, says, "Hey, love the tasting. Thank you." No, thank you. Appreciate it and all the support you've given us over the last couple of years.
Her husband are very nice.
Super love the bonus pour. So I guess we could skip a little bit, in the thing
and talk about the
private stock.
The private stock coming up.
Yep. So I don't know. What do you want to start with that?
So
I guess the bonus tasting is kind of how it started.
The bonus tasting is how it started. We got a lot of good feedback from it. We are going to bottle 3, what would they be, 12 ounces?
Either we're going to do 375s or 210s. We haven't decided yet. Depends on how it looks on the bottle and lays out.
And we got some nice tags made up.
Mm-hmm.
That are going to go on them, and we'll be giving 3 bottles away of the special stock, private stock.
The maple badge.
Yeah, the 100 proof Whitetails podcast private stock. So that's going to be upcoming for for everybody that's listening.
Yep, and there's also probably going to be in the giveaway, whether that's with this or in another one, some of the maple that came out of that barrel, some of the maple syrup.
Some of the syrup will be in the giveaway.
Yep. I do have some of that available too. So, but unfortunately in New York, I can't sell the liquor, because a lot of people were asking at the tasting, can we buy this? Can we buy this? Where can we get some of this? And it's like, well, we give it away for viewers, people that comment in and support the show and, everything like that. So,
and also thank you to Everson's.
Yeah. Everson's were the ones that was in the first batch, and then the second batch is from McHugh Maple up in Massillon. McHugh Family Maple.
Yep.
They donated a bunch of jars for it. So that's the next batch, but the first batch was from Everson's syrup. Was in the barrel beforehand. So, and you tried a little bit of the first McHugh batch of syrup, not the bourbon that's in the barrel right now, but and Nate said it was pretty
so the
tasty.
Syrup isn't that we'll be giving away. Is this just their syrup, or is this the syrup that you dabbled a little bit of the bourbon into?
Dabbled the bourbon.
So it'd be the mixture.
The bourbon flavor. Well, you got bourbon finished syrup, and then you got maple syrup finished bourbon. So you got two different products that we get from this. Both come out at different times out of the barrel.
And
we kind of run it like an infinity barrel.
It's gonna be, you're gonna really enjoy the syrup on your pancakes.
Yeah.
However,
you could just drink
waffle,
like
whatever
a little spoonful of it, man.
Oh, it's good. It's tasty.
It's delicious. So, but yeah, so that's what we got coming up. I don't know. Do you want to tease the label, or are we going to tease that at a different show?
How we're going to label it? We have the bottles on order.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't come in yet.
What we think we're going to do for bottles.
You can hand me one of the labels. Yep. We got these made up. We're not going to have like a sticker label on it or anything. We might put one of our
we'll put probably the
on
podcast sticker on it.
But made up some nice labels to hang over the neck of the bottle. That got it all labeled. 100 proof Whitetails podcast private stock. Gonna hang that over the neck of the bottle and give it a nice appeal.
Yep. And these are made by Nate. Don't let them be humble on it. They came out fantastic. So you killed it, man. Knocked it out of the park with that.
Yeah, thank you. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
So a little downtime at work.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, they're just scrap pieces from the press ice, which is cool.
Hopefully Garlock doesn't get mad at me about it, but
for 2 cents worth of brass.
Yeah, I'll just pay him back the bitch, I guess.
Yeah. Chris comments in, says, nice light, brother. Yeah, wanted to also shout that out. That was on the agenda list. Chris from over Newark way, just north of Newark, I guess.
Newark, East Palmyra,
Newark area. Does custom signs. He also does many of your favorite NFL, MLB teams, everything like that. So he whipped us up a custom light box with the podcast, and I think this is going. You got to set on random, right?
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I can run you through some different. It comes with a remote. You can program different light settings for it. They got a bunch of different modes that'll do a little light show around it. You can just do solid colors: blue, green, yellow, red,
rainbow,
just regular white. Yep. But
yeah, and this is turned right.
Cool.
This is turned right down, so you can kind of see it, and it doesn't wash out in the video.
Yeah, it's got
but it gets way brighter,
dimmer setting that you can.
So yeah,
bump it up. Yep, very cool. Thank you, Chris.
Yep, and you got a Packers one. I gave you one for your birthday.
Yeah, that was cool. Early birthday present. I enjoy that. It looks good in the man cave.
Yeah. Before I forget and get busy with a kid, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget your birthday. So I gave him this present ahead of time when I knew it would be something that he would like. So. But yeah, no. But yeah, thank you, Chris. It came out fantastic. And he said he's got the program, so if anybody is interested in one, we can figure out pricing with Chris on another one and, go from there with it. But yeah, they came out great. And like I said, any MLB, any NFL teams, stuff like that. Does some other custom logos and designs for, I think he did one for I Heart the Finger Lakes as well, and those folks. So And he can do whatever custom thing you give him as long as it's something that he can work with his programmer with. And they 3D print them and put the light kit in there and everything for him, and they come out fantastic. And quick turnaround, dude. I mean, what was it? Less than a week for yours, and I got mine the following.
Yeah, I'm not
just this
sure
past
when
week.
you ordered them.
Oh, I ordered them like a couple days before we went and picked them up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just had to catch up on orders that he had already in before he got yours printed off. So,
yeah. Going to the people who were interested in the hats, hopefully within the next 2 episodes, we'll be doing a giveaway of one of the hats. We'll have those in our possession. I contacted the lady. We'll shout out to Razzle Dazzle Designs out of Phelps, who's doing them for us, the embroidering. She did a great job with our logo. She says she ordered the hats. They should be in the next couple days, and she'll start running our order. So the hats will be available hopefully in the next couple weeks on the show.
Yep. Hopefully before we have, even though we won't be able to sell them there, hopefully they'll be available before March 16th, which Nate's been a busy bee this week. He helped get us booked up for the Runnings Scoring Expo with Northeast Big Buck Club, March 16th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pretty much an all-day event.
Yeah, come on down to Runnings March 16th over in Canandaigua. The Northeast Big Buck Club will be there. Bring your trophies that you would like to get scored and entered into the book. They always fun guys to talk to. Even if you just want to come check it out and you don't have anything to score, that's cool too. It's always fun to walk around Runnings.
Yep.
And they're being gracious enough to allow us to set up a little table, and while your deer's getting scored, you can come over and talk to us about the show and
the hunt, the story, and everything.
Yeah, tell us about your hunt, and so we'll be there March 16th. No tastings or anything, but we'll be there. We'll have some stickers we'll give away and stuff.
Yeah.
But
can't be selling nothing at this one, but we'll be there supporting it and talking about the hunts, all that kind of good stuff with it. And
a big thanks to Runnings and the Northeast Big Buck Club for allowing us the opportunity to jump in with them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be a good event. That's always a good time. We scored, I forget how many. We scored dozens of heads, usually. And it doesn't have to be something you harvested this past season either. That's what a lot of people don't know, is you can enter deer from previous years, as long as they're already not in the book, obviously.
Yeah, if grandpa or grandma shot a giant 40 years ago, you can bring it in and get it scored.
Yeah, we've scored some deer that have, been killed 40, 50 years ago, that people bring in that was Uncle Jim's or, like you said, grandpa's or something. And it's always been in the house. Nobody's ever kind of put a official tape to it. We're happy to do that.
I think it's what? $30 to get your buck put in the book.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want it scored, I think it might be a minimum fee,
like a donational
fee just for them to score it. You can get a number.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to talk to them guys when you get there.
Usually we ask for a donation if we're not entering it. It's not necessarily a required thing or whatever. Or we tell folks is it just gets shuffled to the back of the line. So if you're not going to book it, we're not going to put you in front of somebody that is going to kind of book it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Ben will be there. He is an official scorer for NBBC.
Hoping to be there.
Hoping to be there, depending on the baby.
Yeah.
Peanut, what her schedule is.
Yeah, I'm hoping, dude.
But and the $30 to get your buck entered.
Get your magazine.
Your year subscription to the club, and they send you a magazine.
Was it quarterly, I think?
Yeah, I think it's quarterly. They send out a magazine, and they list all the deer that have been entered into the book that deer season. So if you do enter a deer, your name will be in the next magazine.
I believe the next issue, yep.
The next issue or the next couple issues, depending on how far behind they are. They did us a solid, and they put a picture of mine and Ben's deer bucks that we harvested
Right in the center there.
2022. We harvested them on the same day. I think it was December 4th.
Yep.
We both shot them in the evening. So
On a sit alert.
that was kind of a surprise. I didn't realize it was a sit alert we called out. And that was a little bit of a surprise when I was thumbing through the magazine. I was like, oh my God. So there's us. There's me.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. Andy and those guys at the Northeast Big Buck Club have been great to us. We've been big supporters of theirs and really enjoy their club.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that was something that you were doing before I was even.
My Uncle Josh, who I would like to get on this podcast
Mm-hmm.
on one of the episodes. I don't know, maybe this summer we can. He won't drive out here. We'll have to drive up there and do a podcast out of his
Fresh Crack road trips.
Yeah, out of his garage. But he's a good one. I would like to get on here eventually. He's taught me a lot, and put up with me a lot.
Little Fresh Crack field trip action.
But yeah, he's the one that introduced me to Andy and the Northeast Big Buck Club, and and then I kind of Andy was the guy. Andy Hall was the guy who scored all my deer, and told Ben he needed to get some of his deer scored. So we went down there, and Ben and Andy, I think, knew of each other, but they didn't really talk a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of hit it off, and things kind of went from there. So big thanks to Andy.
Yeah.
He's been a great supporter, a good friend.
Yep. Does a lot, and does a lot for the organization too. Does a lot of stuff behind the scenes, everything like that. So I have a couple that I've scored here in the last couple, I guess, weeks that I'll be giving to Andy for the paperwork side of things, just to simplify meetups and stuff like that before the scoring event. So, and if anybody is interested and can't make the March date, we can figure out a good time to meet up too. I think there's contact info on the MBBC site.
You can message you on Facebook.
Yeah, you can message me on Facebook or Andy.
There might be a scorer that lives closer to you that if you do go on the NBBC page, you might be able to find somebody that isn't quite as far. Getting to Ben is, a little bit of a haul for you. Yeah,
but I'm mostly for anybody that's in kind of northern Seneca, Ontario, Wayne, a pretty easy 25-30 minute drive.
Yeah.
To Clifton here.
I'm
just off 96. I'm not that far.
There's a lot of scorers around New York.
Yep. Absolutely. Good question.
And then hold on.
Oh, go on.
Last add on to that, I said it's $30 to get a deer scored. That includes your membership and your the scoring and your deer getting put into the books.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it scores up to par. Any deer, if you bring two, the second one is only $15 to get scored. So it's not $30 per deer. If you bring multiple animals in to get scored, the first initial one is $30. So don't think it's $30 to score. First initial one is $30, and every deer after that you get scored or animal is $15.
Yep. Good point, Nate. Absolutely.
So I don't think you got to bring $30 ahead.
Yeah. No. There's a bundle deal or whatever you want to call it with that, because you're not paying for the membership magazine side of it with the additional deer. You're just paying for the paperwork and the processing and that stuff.
Yeah.
Which goes into helping print the books and keep the cost down on the actual released editions.
I believe it's every 3 years they release a hardcover book.
Yeah, something like that. There was a write-up in the back of this.
And they're always for sale. And
previous issues.
Your name will go in the book in order that it slots in at, from biggest to smallest in that category, typical, non-typical, state. And it's just cool to have a hardback book with your name in it.
Yep. And then they also do in Massachusetts, which you went the 1 year.
I did go.
For the Northeast, the whole Northeast dinner.
I was fortunate enough to take a 154 inch 12 point back in 2018, and I ended up actually winning largest typical of the year. Got a nice plaque. It's hanging next to my mount in my house, but they give out plaques to everybody that comes to the banquet. It's a fun banquet. It's a good time. They got some cool raffles.
I think it's only $55. Hotel bundle package special and stuff too.
Yeah, they do
on
a whole
top.
bunch of stuff.
Yep, it's cheaper than going and coming and watching the eclipse here in April, which apparently is some huge ordeal, dude. I don't know.
People
I just know
over that.
I just know not to let the little one look at the sun, or don't look at it myself. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Yeah,
that wraps
that
up.
about got everything.
What we got for comments here?
Mark Rasmussen comments in, can I put lime on my plots anytime? Yeah, a good time to lime is anytime, I say, pretty much. As long as you don't have, I guess actively growing plants where you can burn them a little bit of over liming on like the foliar surface of your leaves sometimes. But this time of the year is a great time to get out there and lime. I wish it was a little harder in the winter time where you could spread lime. If you got to get like a tractor in there or something like that to spread it, spreading it by hand is a pain in the butt. But yeah, a good time to lime is anytime. That's a better rhyme, I guess. But yeah, especially if you got to get that pH up. And I see Mark's next comment is my pH is a 5.6. Yeah, you're going to need, I think the rule of thumb is around 2,000 pounds per point. So you're going to need at least probably 27, I would say, 100 pounds per acre to get that up near a 7, give or take a bit. You could shoot for a 6.5. Well, it depends on what you're planting, but you could shoot for like a 6.2, 6.3, 6.5 and be pretty good. A 5.6 is getting on the acidic side. And what happens is it's like a bell curve scale. So as you get closer to that neutral mark of 7, the nutrients are more able to be absorbed by the plants. But when it's sour or acidic, the plants can't uptake the nutrients in the soil. So you can just keep throwing fertilizer at it, but the plants can only take up a small percentage of that because of the efficiency with the pH. So that's why you correct your pH to get that fertilizer to work.
And you want your pH up around that 7 mark.
Yeah.
Ideally.
At least shooting for like that, 6.3 to 6.5 range if you can get it there. Budget's tough, especially if you got to get some of these. If you got to get 1,000 pounds or so of fert into a little food plot way back in the bush, that's a lot of trips on the 4-wheeler, and then spreading it by hand or whatever. So everybody's situation's different with it. So, but yeah, obviously you want to, correct that as close as possible. So, yeah, that's something you definitely got to address is your soil. And this is a great time to get out and pull soil samples. I've been pulling some on client pieces. I'm getting ready to pull my own. Because we're due this year. But yeah. That comment roll in from over on the YouTube side of it. Keith says, grandson gnome here. Apparently Keith's been drinking. His next comment is garden with 2 stars and a laughy face. So yeah. Enjoying it a little bit on this the Whiskey Wednesday, huh, Keith? But yeah, no, he was there helping us be we call him kind of the unofficial Walmart greeter for our tastings and stuff like that. Very outgoing personality and definitely, a fan favorite, so to speak.
Yeah. With
getting out there and, being personable. Where me and Nate were just like, yeah, let's talk hunting and, shoot the bull with it. But yeah, actually.
He's a good conversationist.
Absolutely. Outgoing, great personality, good guy to have around. Keith says he's going to the disco, so he must be having a little Discovery Series bourbon tonight. I'm actually drinking a little Penelope Toasted. Is what I'm sipping on tonight. It's a little bit of Penelope Toasted, and Nate's sticking to the water.
Sticking with water tonight.
Yeah, all good. Absolutely. But all right, what else we got? Well, we got the mottled camo. I think that's a good comment for right now because we haven't had a bow hunt sighting in a couple weeks on the show. So I think it'd be a good one.
Bo, if you're listening, drop a comment, say hey, so we know you're there.
Yeah.
I did my my model photo shoot for you finally.
Yeah, so we're gonna share the screen here quick if I remember how to do this.
Me and Jesse went out and tried calling some coyotes the other evening. Did not have much success, but we had a good time doing it, and decided it was a good opportunity to do a little photo shoot for Bo, seeing he's very interested in my Huntworth camo.
All right, So I'm pretty sure I'm sharing this. We'll see here. Don't mind my everything like that with it. So I got to get to. And then Jerry, we got to make sure we give Jerry his shout out. But yeah, check out these. I'll make sure it's coming through.
Sniper.
Little sniper edition in the Huntworth camo. I think it looks pretty damn good, man. It really looks good in that pattern with the negative space in it and stuff like that. I think that came out right on par.
Yeah, I love the pattern of it.
Now, what do you remember? What the pattern name is on that?
Starts with a T.
Terra.
Yeah, it's their Terra.
Yeah.
Terra
look at
pattern.
that. That looks pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, I like the other photo. That one. Oh yeah.
So swap over here right shortly for you guys on a little bit of the delay. Boom. Yeah, dude. I mean, you can send that into Huntworth. Send us some gear. Send me something.
Send us some gear.
Send me something. Send us something. But yeah, that's going. Got that modeling camo going on. So that was for you, Bo. So I hope you saw it.
Yeah, Bo.
If not, you can't complain.
I know you've been waiting.
Yeah. He says digging the new setup. Thank you. Just that really just added the light.
Yeah.
But it gives us a nice place. You can tuck your water back there and stuff like that, and kind of keep it out of sight, out of mind. Yeah. But no, all good. So
we got Gary.
Yeah, I want to sound out. I don't know if it's Gary or Jerry. I apologize. It's Gerry. So he was nice enough to send us over some ammo, which is getting to be in hard supply nowadays. Sent me over some 270 for my rifle that I run because he asked what we shoot. 110 grain bullets on the tips of mine. 20 rounds of it, custom loaded. So thank you, Jerry. I believe his name's Jerry. And I apologize if I'm wrong with that. And then he dialed up Nate some 6.5s that he said shoot some incredibly hot freaking feet per second, dude. Like,
yeah, he said it was like 3,500 or something.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Hollow point.
Yeah, still going 3,000 and hitting with 2,300 foot-pounds at 100 yards. So the guy does a lot of custom loading, stuff like that. But yeah, that's definitely something that we're looking forward to getting them over to the range and throwing a couple down range. And if they're shooting and performing well, I'd like to try them on some game this year. I know we got to take some does this year on a couple pieces, which kind of leads into the next topic we could talk about. I want to hit these couple comments before we get them lost. He says they sell Huntworth at Runnings. I believe they do.
Yep.
So most of their base model stuff is at Runnings.
I ordered mine on their website. I got a pretty good idea.
Was it Black Friday special or something?
Oh, it was the end of hunting season special.
End of season special.
In January.
Yep. That's what it was.
They were running everything 30% off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, Runnings has it. I think that's their primary camo that they carry. Mm-hmm. They do sell some other stuff too, but most of it's Huntworth, their biggest display.
I gotta say, everything I got from them is, I like it.
And the quality, you like the quality, you like the fit, the feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it all.
Yeah. Dave says, great camo picks. Yeah, dude, like I said, I think it came out great, and the ability to share the screen with the software and everything like that, I think is huge for giving you guys the visual side of it. With everything like that. So then this is our pause mid-show, 30 minutes in, halfway through the episode, to remind you guys to, if you would, subscribe to the channel and help us reach more folks. Help support the channel with that way we can keep this growing and keep helping folks along the way with it. So, and we can't do it without you guys' support, so we appreciate everything you do to support the channel, and subscribe, and the comments, everything like that goes a really long way. So
yep.
And that's Facebook, YouTube with the lives, and then everything on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything like that for wherever you enjoy your podcast. I believe we're on iHeart. If we're not and you listen on iHeart, let us know and we can get over on iHeart. I can double check, but I'm pretty sure it uploads.
iHeart. That's the way to go.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, if that's something I'll double check then this week when I upload this episode. So, good point. Thank you for that. So, yeah, 100 Proof Whitetails, guys. Can't do it without all the folks listening and tuning in. Literally. Otherwise, we'd just be here talking, which we enjoy doing. Don't get us wrong. But,
oh yeah, I love talking, huh?
But definitely love hearing that we help folks with our comments and our topics we're talking about, and helping people along the way with it, and people enjoy what we're putting out there and what we're laying down, man.
Yeah. So,
man, we're buzzing right through. We made an itinerary, and I'm like, man, this is a lot of stuff to talk about, but we just kind of ripping right through it. Just short and sweet to the point.
I can't even read that.
End of the show, live drawing.
Oh,
sorry, I got chicken scratch. Picking
so
on my handwriting.
So we got a couple more. We got property visit / work.
Yeah, the work you've been doing, Nate. Why don't you talk on some of that a little bit? I know we saw your post.
Work on like habitat work.
Yeah.
Yeah. We touched a little bit on it in prior episodes, but I kind of had a vision of what I wanted. I've hunted this piece, I believe, for 4 years now, 4 or 5 years, and kind of get to know quite a bit of the deer movement and how things work over there. And I kind of came up with this plan in my mind that I wanted to execute. And like we touched on in a couple episodes ago, the last one I was on. So if you do plan on making changes or doing something to a hunting piece that you lease or permission, always double check everything with the landowner
in detail.
So I went and I talked to the farmer, and he gave me the thumbs up on it. So we went back there and did a lot of I don't know of a lot, but quite a bit of cutting to try and block off a lot of deer trails that seem to be the deer seem to be using a lot that is fairly out of range in bow season for me.
Right.
So we went through and tried blocking a bunch of them off to try and pinch them up and force those deer to come up more on top of the hill to get around it.
Well, and let's also preface this too. Cutting ash trees that are dying, low value or non-valued beech trees, etc.
Right, we're not in there
taking out the hard maple and the freaking cherry.
Yeah, the money trees. We left all them alone.
Yep.
But we're smart about it. Went through, and it was kind of like a V thing that I did, going down this hill to try and create somewhat of a wall to try and deter those deer from going through it and try and make them come up that ridge and come up to
hold the top trail.
Hold the top trail a little more. So we did that. We were talking about some frost seeding. Ben said I should be all right with just broadcasting the clover out there. We used a medium red clover and Ladino clover.
Yep.
Ben's mice friends ate all the chicory.
Yep.
But
I'm whacking and stacking them, dude. I'm up to 13 of them out of that garage.
So I know it's been a very established and heavy grass field for many years, and it's very thick. I think the root system is probably thick, so I thought it would be beneficial to take my chisel drag and run over it to try and create more soil surface,
seed soil contact,
to create more soil to seed contact as I broadcasted it. So I did that. The field edge was pretty well overgrown. We got your tractor over there, and we pushed that way back.
Helping the farmer out too, so he can get his tractor in and around these areas, push the edge back for him, keeping that upkept.
And then what we did to the field by adding the clover, in hopes of actually bettering his hay quality,
Mhm.
his round bale quality. Hopefully that'll help him out there. Something else. What else did we do? So my plan is, now that we got the field edge pushed back and that 10 to 15 foot that we were able to push back to,
And drop some ash trees out.
But that 10 to 15 foot section, I would like to go through in August and plant the 100 proof mix, get some of those brassicas and turnips in there, and kind of more of a winter mix in there, to try and bring those deer up closer to the edge feeding.
Or give them that transitional line. I've noticed that a lot in food plots, where they'll hug that transitional line between like that hay field, clover field, and that turnip field. They'll kind of zigzag and kind of browse on both as they go kind of down it, which puts them in perfect bow opportunity from a couple of locations.
Right around 20 to 30 yards from my setups.
By design, man.
All by design. Feeding them to you.
Absolutely.
Some other projects I got going over there. My in-laws were, I did not expect this, but they were super generous this Christmas and got me a little buck hut, a little canvas blind, elevated canvas blind. It's actually a guide gear one that I got put up in the frame out there. I'm going to a couple tweaks I want to do to it. It just kind of has just kind of like a chainmail floor kind of thing. It's the
mesh.
Yeah, that wire mesh floor.
Yep, like the bottom of a tree stand, kind of.
Like to get like a horse mat and cut it out to that size, that 4x4 diameter, and put that rubber mat in there, kind of keep some of the cold up from coming through, and keep it a little quieter with setting a chair up.
Well, and I noticed too, when you don't do that for your towers or elevated blinds, you get a lot of sunlight light that projects up into that dark space, and you get a lot more shadow movement. And I think you get picked off a lot more if you don't cover up that bottom. So whether it's, like you said, horse stall mats, or
I was also thinking of, maybe a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and wrap it in outside carpet, and then just bolting it to the.
They threw out a bunch of that carpet from work, so I got some of that too. If you wanted to do that, we're thinking about putting that in ours this upcoming year. The stuff that I did to finish off the basement. Yeah. So
that's another project I'm working on. Obviously some trimming. I got some stands moved around with some of that work we were doing with pushing the field edges back and opening up some trails. And trying to pinch these deer down to a specific area. I had to change a couple of my setups that I originally had that I think are just better for access and how the deer are supposedly going to be moving now. And we'll keep you updated on all the progress we're making there.
Yeah, we need to start. I know you did a really good job taking that video the other day when you were out there, but we need to do some more, as we're doing some of these projects here, putting teaser posts up for you guys so you can see a little bit more of the hands-on kind of stuff.
I was thinking that we should do a couple videos of little tricks and trades. Like a simple one would be like what you showed me, the cheap, easy stand noise dampening technique. That would be a simple 1 to 2 minute video that we could post up and give people a little idea of,
if you got an older stand, a little bit maybe cheaper stand,
or your stand doesn't bolt together, it's pinned together, and you get that little bit of rattle movement when you're climbing up it, how to minimize that sound. I was thinking we could that's a quick, easy video we could post.
100%.
But stuff like that, we got to get better at posting.
Getting some content for you guys. Trying to find enough hours in the day, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah. But so that's kind of a lot of the habitat work that I've been working on. I'm hoping it pays off.
And then sheds are going to be coming here soon. Did a camera pull, and most everything's still holding. So typically I don't go out there till
mid-March.
75-80% have dropped. It's kind of been my rule of thumb. So it's early. You know, Dad was talking to me. He had a couple bucks come through last week, and wasn't a single one, you know, even missing a side, let alone, you know, both sides. So there's still a lot of deer out there. Was out at a client piece today, half day at work, quick half day local visit, Wayne County area, and talked about doing, you know, some different stuff on that and looking at it different ways. Biggest thing is just, you know, improving access, and we harp on it all the time that that's pretty much your easiest thing to fix on a property, or sometimes the most challenging. But where you can make the most bang for your buck without usually spending a whole lot of money is improving your access, or critically thinking about it, more to the point, I guess, on a lot of pieces. And just also we talked about, and we talk about this a lot too, is backtracking some of the sign that you're seeing till you can get to a point where you can hunt it effectively, you know, to get in and out. You might find that hot crossroad of sign, but backtracking that out to a tree or a location where you can set up is huge to keep that, you know, that impact down to a minimum. And that's just some of the stuff we were picking apart today. Multi-use for the property as well. Still got to maintain the tillable acres. We can't, you know, scrap all that. Had another visit last week where it was an 80-acre parcel south of here, and have to take a fully functioning farm with no trees and no hedgerows and make it into a deer property. So we got a uphill property climb with that piece for sure. So, and I got to balance the ag income, the beef income that they're trying to, you know, maintain, and balance deer into this whole equation with it. So with a limited amount of acreage we can manipulate. So I think I got a good rough idea for the first steps, and got a meeting coming up with that landowner again to really walk through the plan with him, and see if it's going to fit or if we need to make some tweaks with it. So just making sure that we can do the most with what we have available. And that's a big thing that I really try to flesh out with folks when we're looking at a piece, or I'm talking to somebody, is, you know, what do you have for equipment? What do you have for time? You know, biggest thing for folks is more time than it is, I guess, money for a lot of projects.
It's always time or money.
Yeah, it's always time or money, but I find more it's time for a lot of folks. Especially, you know, you and me are lucky. We're within, I would say, a half hour of our hunting pieces, you know, at the furthest. You know, for any of the pieces that we hunt, you're probably closer than that for all years. But, you know, some folks have to drive to some of these properties I go to over an hour or more. So getting down there after work or in an afternoon isn't really reasonable. You know, so if they can sneak away for a weekend or a Saturday or something, that's what they got.
Yeah.
So it can be challenging, but that's where, you know, like you said, having a good game plan ahead of time before you start cutting trees or doing anything like that, make sure you have the right kind of plan put together in place for the piece.
Have a vision.
Have a good vision for it
of what you want to do, and then try and do your best to execute it.
Yep.
Even if you do a little bit one year, and then you do a little bit more the next year, and each year you just slowly work towards it. I mean, you don't have to do it all in 1 year. You know, just keep every year just try to improve yourself hunting and try and improve the land around you.
Yeah, that's a good point, Nate, is piecemealing it out a little bit so you don't get overwhelmed with it or burnt out. That's another thing too. Some people dive, you know, head first 130% into something, and, you know, halfway through your project list, you burn through a lot of it, but you get burnt out. And then you don't, you know, follow through with the rest of the execution. So having it in a good balance and a good piecemealed kind of plan and setup is another really good point that you got there, being able to do that. Keith dropped in a comment and said wanted to throw a reminder out to folks for the K&M live shows. First Friday of every month, we're live at K&M for a tasting. Unless something drastically changes and stuff like that, we'll let folks know. But we're there 6 till ish, I guess. I believe this tasting we're going to be doing Maker's Mark, which is one that we had a lot of people like at our sip and stroll tasting. So we'll be tasting some Maker's Mark at K&M in March here in Was that 2 weeks? I think something like that. So like 10 days, week and a half. So
Coming up.
yeah, good comment there, Keith. Keeping us in line even on the stuff we miss. Brian Vandermally, comments and says timber work and frost seeding weather is upon us. Yeah, absolutely. I know we got some big warm ups. I would like to get my apple trees trimmed, and I got to get the dog yard fixed up before we go away for a wedding this weekend, and a whole bunch of stuff just here at the homestead, let alone out on the property. But reminds me with Brian's comment, we can tie right into this. So next week, I don't know what you got going on. Are you planning on, or you got to take the week off with stuff? What are you thinking?
Next Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
I'm not sure yet.
Not sure. So
I haven't gotten that.
You haven't gotten that far.
I'm like day to day.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, as are we all. So next Wednesday, mark it on the calendars. You can be here. Absolutely. Love to have it. But if not, I booked up, my dad wants to come on the show and wants the viewers and everything to watch us pick apart and beat up our, plans for this upcoming habitat season, into, food plot planting and our vision and plan for the farm and how we go about breaking that down. Wants to do a full on episode on that.
Brian, that's right up your alley.
Yep. So we're going to be picking that apart.
Brian's a pretty knowledgeable guy. I work with him. Yeah. I pick his brain about the food plot stuff a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brian plants a lot of fields, but yeah, next Wednesday, Dad's going to come on the show. He wants to sit down. He's got it all like envisioned in his head with a whiteboard, and he wants to talk and chat and, pick it apart with, everybody watching and being able to have some questions come in about what we're doing or what different, reasonings behind some stuff versus other stuff is. And we're going to pick it apart, and you guys got to get to look into the, what is it? Look through the magnifying glass a little bit at it and see how we pick it apart and dive into our year-to-year discussions with it. So, and not saying that we always agree, and I'm sure there'll be stuff that we, pick at each other about that, and I think it should be this way. And
you and your dad arguing? No.
It's not arguing. It's just, it's
debating.
Debating and
debating.
Losing mostly on my end. But no, it'll be a good, entertaining show for sure.
Wow, when it comes down to it, pays taxes.
Yeah, I can't tell him no. Just gotta say thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm glad to have him on. We've talked about it a couple times, and he said it to me today. He's like, "Yeah, we should do that." I said, "What, you want to come on tonight?" I was talking to him earlier. He's like, "Oh no, like next week." Yeah. So I'm sure he's got to plan it out a little bit.
Yeah, he's a box full of knowledge for sure.
Yeah. So, Keith says your dad's a cool dude. Look forward to seeing him on the show. Yeah, like I said, he's looking forward to it. So it was, like I said, his, we've kind of teased it at him for, an idea. And like I said, he kind of jumped on it and ran with it. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear that.
Absolutely. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we're always looking. We're trying to get the Final Flight waterfowl guys lined up on it. Mike, Noah, and Brandon and those folks on a show to talk about some of the waterfowl kind of side of stuff, to help, some folks that might be interested in some of the tips and tricks with that. And then now that they're getting back from NWTF, pinning down Tyler and Trent, which might be going on the road for that show or whatnot with the cartel guys. And they're just getting back from NWTF show, talking turkey hunting.
Yeah, be good to get Brainy on there.
Mm-hmm. Brainy and Trent's a turkey killing machine too. Both those guys go all over the country and pile up birds, dude. And big heck of a good set of calls. I can't say enough about them. Cartel stuff is up there top notch, dude. So, alrighty. Perfect. About 50 minutes in. What do we got left? The only thing I think we got left is the.
What do you think? You want to do the giveaway?
Yeah, I think that comment just roll in. Good timing, Nick. Got in just before the giveaway. Nick said, just got my habitat hook already, planning expansion on my hinge cut. Went from no bucks anywhere to 6 different bucks showing regular, just 3 weeks. Yeah, it's amazing what a little bit of habitat work, tree felling or hinge cutting or whatever will do. Cover and the food.
Creating cover
and food.
That's for bucks. I think that's a huge thing. They need cover.
Yeah. And then
if you have a wide open woods, you're not going to get you're going to get a buck cruising through, but he ain't hanging out.
Yeah.
You got to have a spot where he feels safe and covered, and that you're going to definitely hold more deer. That hinge cutting, you're creating like a wall, something that deer can lay up against and feel secure and hidden, and it'll bed there also. So you're also creating a little bit of bedding that way. So yeah, the hinge cutting and even just making piles of brush. If your logger goes through and he leaves a bunch of tree tops everywhere, well, if you can get in there with a tractor or 4-wheeler and drag them around strategically, I mean, you can kind of create the same kind of idea. You're giving those deer something to lay up against where they feel secure, maybe a little bit of a wind block. It's just cover.
That structure, absolutely. And yeah, especially this time of the year, if you're out there doing some cutting and stuff like that, you're putting a ton of browse right down at deer eye level. So I'm sure they're probably filing in there just about as soon as you get ready to walk out of there or turn your saw off. I've seen him literally walk down a skidder path as the logger shuts his saw off for the day before he starts his machine to head out of the woods. I've seen him literally head down the logging road toward the skidder that was just running and everything. So food is key right now. And then if you throw in, like you said, a little bit of side cover and some windbreak with that too, some benefits of that stuff. And again, it might not be, like we think a windbreak is like getting inside the house or something. Well, deer don't have that luxury. They're going to get behind some tops. They're going to get down behind a little knoll but sometimes if you're looking at, flat ground in some pockets or ridge tops, they might have to lay up next to some treetops and some cover up there. Otherwise they're not going to have any windbreak. And that just shoots their efficiency right in the foot to keep them warm.
And something else to keep in mind when you're doing the hinge cutting, not only are you bringing food down, but if you are trying to create more of that cover and bedding, you need to, especially if you're on a hillside, you should probably do more of that hinge cutting in the area where it gets the majority of sunlight, because those deer are going to want to lay in the sun where it's warm, where they can get a windbreak, they can browse, and that sun can shine down on them during the day and warm them up while they're just laying around. They don't want to go lay down in the shadows where it's cold. Right. They want to get out, they want to sun themselves, they want to feel safe, they want to have food, and they want to be able to be warm and comfortable. So that's something to keep in mind when you're going out there and you're trying to create these bedding areas, is different scenarios like that. Where on your piece would be the best spot to do those hinge cuttings to create that little bit of bedding. And I think the sun has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that slope and that aspect of it and stuff like that, absolutely. And then, like you said, being able to get just out of or put the cuttings along the predominant colder west winds, so they have that little bit of that, that windbreak or that wind shear of it, and then some southern, eastern, southeastern, southwestern, southern exposure. Anything pretty much southern sun is going to be, your best friend for that. And it's going to get the best regen for browse coming back up in there for more food in that cut area. So,
yep. Just way to go.
Boom, boom, boom. Stacking up benefits of it. But, all right. Well, we're going to spin the old prize wheel here. Let me get the screen shared. Share the screen.
So what is the prize?
We're going to be doing a bundle pack giveaway hat from our new knit hats sticker package. We're going to have some private stock of the actual bourbon, and then we're gonna have some of the maple syrup that was finished with bourbon. Probably jar or so of that, and then a bottle or so of the other one. And then yeah, I think that's a pretty good, nice bundle. That's a nice bundle pack, man.
Nice bundle pack.
That's
right
I was gonna say. I feel like I should be saying more, but I think that's pretty good.
That's a solid bundle.
Yeah, pretty good bundle for. So
you get the bourbon maple syrup. You get the
bottle of bourbon.
The bottle of bourbon. The
knit hat.
The private stock.
Yep.
You get the knit hat and a sticker.
Yep.
Or a couple stickers.
So, and this is for, and we'll probably do more giveaways from the kind of different giveaways on shows and stuff like that, coming up with stuff. Or we have some, sponsors and supporters that have reached out.
We could bring that to the runnings.
Yeah, we thought about doing that on other shows.
We'll bring it. I just want to clear it with Andy when we bring it that it's not going to be a conflict of anything.
Yep.
But if he gives us the thumbs up, maybe we'll do another one there.
Yep. So we got the wheel of names, as you can see on the screen right now, because I don't want anybody to think that we're cheating anybody with this.
Right.
So I'll put it up on the screen for folks.
Yeah. And these are all the people that did the survey at the Sip and Stroll. Penelope.
Well, what do you know? Can't make that up, dude. We're drinking Penelope tonight.
We're drinking Penelope. Penelope wins.
Thanking Penelope and her husband for always being good supporters of the show. And see, it pays to support, man.
Super, super nice people.
I think that was actually one of the first comments tonight was her saying how good that sample was.
Well, she's getting one.
She's getting a whole bottle of it.
Getting a whole bottle of it with a hat. They got the sweatshirts now. They got all the swag.
They're swagged out, 100%. Dude.
Yeah, congratulations, Penelope. Thanks for the support.
Yes,
we'll be getting that out to you in the next
when everything comes out.
Next couple weeks, hopefully.
Yeah. So we got enough of the bottling left.
You have her number information.
Yep, we got all and that's what the thing. We got everyone's contact info that filled out the survey,
so we can get it to them or mail it to them.
And thank you everybody for giving us your contact information from that survey, so we can get a hold of you guys about other events and stuff we got coming up. But yeah,
Andy made it.
Not too late to the party. Andy Hall says, "Hey guys, yeah, Andy, we talked the event coming up at Runnings." And we did a giveaway from our Sip and Stroll event that we did. And I think we're going to do another one, as long as it's okay with you guys in Runnings. Obviously not tasting anything, but doing another, viewer giveaway from the folks that come out to the show. You scan the QR code, fill out a little survey, and be entered to win a swag pack, which was actually pretty loaded, dude.
Yeah, they're getting, I'll say
custom.
They're getting the bourbon maple syrup. They're getting the private stock 100 proof bourbon. They're getting a embroidered knit hat with the 100 proof logo
and sticker pack
and a couple stickers.
Yeah. So, and our winner of the night, I'll scroll right back up to, I think her comment was one of the first ones of the night.
I think she was the first one to comment.
Yeah. Penelope, we'll give you the shout out right here. This was the comment. Was love the tasting, thank you guys. And then she said super love the bonus pour. So
getting her own bottle now.
Karma comes right back around with the support. So thank you. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Anything else we're missing tonight? I think we hit everything good, dude.
I want to say thanks to Andy again for helping us out. And we'll talk more, Andy, probably at the show. We'll bring the QR thing and make sure everything's kosher with you and Runnings before we do anything like that. But yeah, thank you for the opportunity, Andy, and thanks for tuning in, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank everyone. And like I said, again, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We got to double check on iHeart because that was something that was recommended to us to double check, make sure we're getting up on the iHeart with our podcast. It's always available post-show on YouTube, and then it's live on YouTube and Facebook, obviously on Wednesday evenings when we're doing it. Our Fresh Crack Friday videos are every Friday, sorry. And that's where we fresh crack at least one new bottle of whiskey and sample it out against some other stuff we've tried blind and just give you honest opinions on it. And like I said, we got some habitat hunting videos coming up for strategy and success coming up on the channel. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on probably Facebook and then YouTube stuff scattered in. And yeah, again, thank you all for the support. Thank you, Nate, for all you've been doing with the tags and the legwork for, helping us get into the running show, everything like that, dude. Appreciate everything you
The
Keith helped me do.
custom SD card holder,
The custom SD card holder.
which you pimped that out in
Yeah.
another episode.
Yeah,
I think we should make a post of that because I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, that's gonna go right up. Stay tuned after the show. That'll be going up tonight before Nate leaves here, so I make sure I get it up. But thank you guys all so much. Really appreciate it, and catch you all next time down at the bar. 100 Proof Whitetails.
Thank you.
See you.
Have a good one.